Welcome everybody to this yoga practice for when you want to feel grounded. Now, a lot of times we hear the word grounded without really being explained what grounded means. So in the energy system, energy can move up and it can move down. When we feel anxious, when we feel overwhelmed, the energy tends to move up faster and stronger than the energy moves down. So this practice is going to be all about getting the energy, instead of flooding upward, to come down and settle. So you can see here the props I'm going to use, a yoga mat and a block. Of course, if anything does not feel right for your body, then you will just skip it or modify it. So let's start with child's pose. Coming into a kneeling position, align the shoulders over the hips. And I'm going to be very particular about small details in your poses, and that is part of the grounding feeling, because we want to feel connected with the earth. So take your right knee out to the side, left knee out to the side. So now the knees are split. If your butt does not reach your heels, then grab either a pillow or a yoga block to make that connection. You want to have the heels and the sit bones pressing against one another. Take the fingertips down and just lift the chest ever so slightly up, so it's a gentle back bend. Pull the navel in towards the spine so you create a feeling of compression backwards. And then you'll take your inhale and take the left hand forward, and exhale, hold. Inhale, take the right hand forward and exhale, hold. Inhale, take the left hand forward a little further and hold. Right hand forward a little further and hold. And then I want you to spread all 10 fingers down, take the elbows to the edge of the mat, and then place the forehead down. Now the focus is going to be on the back of the body, so maybe close your eyes and imagine that you had some inflatable wings in the back of the body, and see if you can inflate those wings using the next 3 breaths. You're going to lift your head forward, and then we'll take the left hand back, right hand back, slowly coming back up to seated position. Bring the knees together now, and then take your hands forward, coming into a tabletop. Feel your spine long, feel the crown of the head forward and the tailbone back. It's very important to feel where you are in space. When we feel overwhelmed, there's a sense that we're on a kite that's just floating away, or we're in some kind of tornado. So from here, take the left foot back. You might need to adjust so that your foot is on the mat, and just hold this pose. Draw the navel to the spine, draw the shoulder blades back away from the ears. The neck is long, and you're just going to turn the head to the left all the way through center. Turn the head to the right through center. From here, lift that left leg up. Pull the belly in, and then take the right hand forward. Take the right hand down and the left knee down. Right foot steps back, tuck the toes, and really feel the ball of the foot connected into the ground. From the inner thigh, lift that right foot up. Try to keep the hips square. Gaze slightly forward. Push the heel back as if you were holding a door open with your foot, and then take the left hand forward. A little bit of balance keeps us in the present moment. Take that left hand down, right knee down. Now from here, tuck your back toes. Come back for a little toe stretch. We're opening the feet here. And then from here, can you take your right foot forward? So you're now in this, I want to call it like a square position. So take your hands above your right knee, press down, lift the chest up slightly, but don't take the gaze up, just look forward. And then can you lean forward a little here, coming down towards the ground. Now I want you to breathe in, feel as if there's a wave coming up the front of the body, and as you exhale, imagine that wave going down and out the back leg. So it's an inhale up the front, exhale down and out the back leg. Inhale up the front, exhale down and out the back leg. Each time you sink a little bit deeper, and then release. Take that right knee next to the left. We'll do the same on the other side. Again, if you have sensitive knees, just take your mat double over so you've got some support underneath the kneecaps here. Left knee in front, and again, start by just having this square. So squares are related to stability, and I'm going to give you this time not just the cueing of the breath up and down the back, but also to imagine that you have a string or a square underneath you, right? A square underneath you, a string underneath you, and you're filling that up. So the energy is going down. Take your hands, interlace the opposite fingers, so not the habitual way, above your kneecap, so not on the kneecap, above the kneecap, and then just let yourself lean forward. You might need to adjust your foot slightly. Now, this is where we start our breathing. So inhale up the front, gazes forward, not up, forward. Exhale down into the back foot. Imagine it as you come up and down, that you also have a string underneath you here that goes down to a square, so it's tethered down to the ground. Can you imagine those two things at the same time? The breath coming up and down, and energy going down a string into a square underneath you. So we're using mantra, sound, and shape yantra. Notice that I'm not lifting my arms because this practice is about getting grounded. It's about you feeling back to being you again. Releasing and taking that left knee back. Come back, straighten out your mat. And then we'll take another grounding pose, which is rabbit pose. For this, you can have the top of your head come onto the mat. And if you have any kind of eye pressure problems going on, I would skip this and just do a child's pose. Otherwise, taking your fingers out to the side, lifting your head and taking the top of the head down. Walk your knees back, tuck your toes, and see if you can grab hold of your ankles. Hold in here for 3 breaths. If you can, grab the backs of the feet, the heels. Push the heels into the head. Release your hands and come to sit back. And just take your hands onto your lap, rest for a moment. And I'd like you to count to 10 here. So using counting and numbers as a way to ground ourselves. Maybe you close your eyes. Eyes gently open. I'm going to come onto our bellies now, so the more we can get connected into the earth, the more we have that feeling of it's okay, I'm not going to freak out and explode, the more we have a sense of being safe, really. So coming to lie on your bellies, if that feels okay for your body, take your feet mat width apart, and just wiggle the hips out. You're going to have your hands alongside your chest and just gently coax the elbows in. Drop your forehead down. Now I want you to press into the fingertips. Scoop the pad of the hand off the ground. So the fingers are pressing down, but the palm is lifted. So it's like a cupped finger almost. And then just lift the head off the ground.
5 inches, 6 inches, no more. Just hold here. Press down into the pubic bone. Now I want you each in-breath to press the belly further into the ground. So it's an inhale. Feel the belly fill up, and then exhale, you're going to exhale out the mouth. Inhale. Feel the belly push against the ground, and exhale. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Take the hands and make a pillow in front of you and let the forehead rest. When the energy moves up, it moves up into the brain, and we have over-stimulation of the thoughts, the vritti. So having the forehead gently on the backs of the hands is soothing. It's what we call a kashartram point. That means it's a point on the outside of the body that relates to a gland on the inside here, the pineal gland, which is in charge of all of our organs and hormones, regulates balance. Notice if there's clenching in the jaw, and open and close the jaw. And then we'll come back to the seated position. So use your arms, push back, and we'll bring the feet around in front. And I'm actually going to come off my yoga mat here so that you can see what I'm doing with my feet. So I want to interlace my fingers, bring the hands around the feet. Even if your knees are up here, I want you to pull yourself forward slightly, and then little butterflies with the knees. Keep the chest lifted, so rather than folding forward and pushing the elbows out, we're just using the arms almost like a bracing to keep tall. And we'll take some little, I call them bunny sniffs. So it's a soft variation of Vastrika breath. So you're going to inhale, exhale, along with the knee movements through the nose. Take a nice deep breath in. Pause and hold the breath. Drop the chin, and I want you to breathe out the nose. Feel going down to the groin. Lift the chin, deep breath in. Hold the breath, tuck the chin. Imagine that you're sending the breath down and out a straw to the pelvic floor and down to the earth. And do that one more time, breathing in. Chin slightly lifts, exhale, chin in, breathe down and out. Eyes open, lean back slightly. Cross your ankles, hold the feet, use your thumbs against the pad of the feet and just gently press here, sitting up tall. And as you're here, this will be the last thing we do. Just notice how your energy has shifted. If you're feeling a little bit more centered, grounded, and stable, ready for whatever it is that you have to do next, but coming from a place that is aligned. Release your hands, bring them back together, heart center, and thanking ourselves for this wonderful yoga practice that has medicine for our modern world. Namaste.